Welcome one and all to yet another Gun Workshop video. In case you haven't been here before, in this series I go through what I consider to be the best builds for close and long range fights for all the weapons in Modern Warfare. In today's video I'll be going over really the only contender to the HDR, the UK's AX-50 sniper rifle. Firing the 50 BMG round at 48 rounds per minute, this weapon is slightly faster than the HDR in that regard while also having a quicker ADS speed. This weapon has the same damage profile as the HDR, meaning that it will always be a one-shot kill to the torso at its closest damage range, but with the AX-50, it actually falls just below a kill at the furthest ranges when you hit the enemy's lower torso, so keep that in mind. Where this weapon loses against the HDR is in range and bullet velocity. The AX-50 has a range somewhere around under the 100 meter mark, which puts it behind the HDR, and while the HDR, with its long barrel, is basically a hit-scan weapon, the AX-50 will still require a decent amount of target leading over those longest distances. The faster ADS speed and the sheer number of attachments that can improve this stat are what make this weapon a viable choice for standard multiplayer, while even the fastest HDR will struggle. Before I hop into this, I hope you're all having a great day, and I hope your week is going great. Enough of my yammering on though, let's get into this. If you're looking to take this snappy sniper rifle into standard multiplayer, then my assassin build is here for you. Starting off in the muzzle section, we use the tactical suppressor to keep us stealthy without really hurting our ADS speed at all. Next, I use the 17-inch factory barrel, this weapon's short barrel, to boost mobility at the cost of range and recoil control. The VLK 3x optic makes an appearance for boosted ADS speed and a lower optical zoom. The Syngard Arms Assassin stock boosts our ADS speed even further, and Sleight of Hand rounds this build off to make those reloads a lot easier to deal with. The Assassin build was the one I was using with my friends in standard multiplayer while I was leveling this up. It truly surprised me with its speed and ability to effectively quickscope enemies. The TAC suppressor keeps us stealthy while also not really hurting our ADS speed. The perfect balance in my opinion. The 17-inch barrel would seem some as a detriment as it drags our range down quite a bit, but given that this is primarily used in standard multiplayer, this isn't really an issue as there are a few lines of sight that are long enough where this will even be noticed. The VLK 3x optic is just the best mid-range optic I've gotten most used to, and it's the fastest optic available on the AX-50. The Syngard Arms Assassin stock further helps to boost our ADS speed when combined with the short barrel and the 3x optic, so this weapon is extremely snappy for the damage it's able to put out. Sleight of Hand just felt like a good perk to add, but it could obviously be swapped for focus or attack laser. I kept the tack laser off this build so that it can remain as stealthy as possible since it won't have a visible laser. The Assassin works great in standard multiplayer, keep in mind that I suck at quickscoping, and it works very well as a stealth sniping option in Ground War and Warzone. If you want to stretch out the range of this weapon and maybe use it for Warzone, the Covert Ops is what you'll want to be using. We start off in the muzzle section again with the tactical suppressor for relatively snappy, stealthy gunplay. The 32-inch factory barrel greatly boosts our recoil control, range, and bullet velocity, something this weapon could use while sacrificing mobility. The tack laser is next used to mitigate the downsides of the long barrel and the base scope. The Syngard Arms Assassin stock is used again for an even greater boost to our ADS speed, and this build is rounded off with the focus perk to make getting those headshots easier while taking return fire. When I want to hang back and take it easy in a ground war match and I want some deviation from my HDR, check on that video in the link below, I choose my Covert Ops AX-50 build. This build is mostly boosted by its attachments to maximize its range and long-range killing potential. While the 32-inch barrel is stated as having less of an effect on range than the medium barrel, the 32-inch barrel greatly increases this weapon's bullet velocity, so hitting long-range targets is just that much easier. The tack laser isn't as much of a concern here as it would be for the Assassin since we keep the base scope on this weapon so scope glint is already a dead giveaway, meaning that a little green laser won't expose you that much more. Plus, it, along with the Assassin stock, really improves ADS speed, which helps to mitigate the downsides of using the long barrel and the base scope. Even though it will be far away from most of the frontline fighting with this gun, I still felt like focus was a useful perk, as this variant counter definitely be used in a counter-sniping role. Being able to take a poorly aimed hit and still be able to quickly dish out a deadly return shot could turn the tides of many long-range sniper battles. Covert Ops definitely works best in Ground War and Warzone, but its usage in standard multiplayer is definitely limited by its relatively poor handling. That's all, folks. The AX-50 has been covered. During the early days of Warzone, there was a pretty heavy debate about which sniper rifle was better for the game mode. Was it the HDR or the AX-50? Well, in my humble opinion, given how I feel snipers are supposed to work, I feel the HDR is better for long-range sniping as it has greater range values and the right attachments make its bullet velocity almost untrackable. On the other hand, the AX-50 is a very mobile and snappy weapon for the sniper rifle category, and is better suited for standard multiplayer and mid-range ground war engagements. It's certainly useful in Warzone and has many similar strengths as the HDR, but I feel the HDR just nudges it out in terms of power and accuracy over range. All that being said, the AX-50 is obviously a fantastic weapon. It's powerful, relatively fast, and it has a plethora of attachments that make this weapon very modular, unlike the HDR. The Assassin is a very quick, snappy build of the AX-50 that could only be improved in terms of handling by adding a tac laser. Covert Ops, on the other hand of the spectrum, is a very reliable and precise sniper weapon at longer ranges, but is a tad slower than the Assassin, so it's more of a traditional sniper. If you haven't given this UK beauty a try, then I would certainly do so. As a hardcore HDR fan, I was left feeling very pleased with my 6v6 time with the AX-50. Once you get used to it and level it up a bit, you'll love it. I guarantee it. So what did you all think of the AX-50? Are these builds any good? Let me know down below in the comments. You've all been great, I've been your host, and I look forward to seeing you all again. I'm Doodleman149, and I will see you later.